There we go. There we go. What is up, guys? It is your fellow host, James and Sailor Jupiter Fan 2001, and this is going to be the Christmas stream for this year. You're probably wondering why I'm going to do this now instead of in the evening. I actually thought of doing this now since it's at a later time. So, anyways, here's the link if you want to join. Just put it in the chat and I will let you in. Right. So that is who I am. Got just allow. Gotta text something. Hmm. Christmas streams no live. So, so anyone who is watching this is already free and can be free to join, and anyone is that'd be my thing. But anyways. I will not be streaming next week since I'm decided not to stream next week because I'm gonna go to Texarkana to go with use to see my Texas relatives. No, because and I don't know if my mom will come in there, but she now lives in France. If you wanted to just know what I mean, because she studied the French language. There's the link. Copy and paste it in another tab if you'd want, and if you'd like. I really have to think of getting I really have to think of getting a new drive for Christmas because I already have a lot of space here on my desktop. So a new drive is what I probably want was one of the presents I want to get. Oh, forgot to get my Santa hat on. How's that for this, you guys? It'd be perfect for the Christmas spirit. Oh no. Is this better for you guys? Can you still hear? You can still hear me if I wanted to do something. I don't know if the audio would be just quieter. I texted one of my supper club mates to so that I am live. And that's I'm probably going for Evangelion. So no one's still watching this live. Or new drives for Christmas being more than one drive. That should be something right there. What else is there to do? Well, I did text the mage, so I'll. First, I got now. I texted them, so the guests some guests should be arriving to the stream. You never know when they're gonna when they are gonna be on those times. Are they gonna be on this right here? This. He responded. He's running a few errands. So yeah, Trevor's running a few errands. So yeah, he will. Yeah, Trevor will join later. So what am I gonna try? Yeah, that will be very. One the piece of music I heard in the Polar Express YTP, the Molar Express 3, it sounded like Adult Swim bumper music. What else in there? What's in there? YTP Mobile Express. So yeah, he's gonna, or someone gonna join. Stop it. Mhm. Yes. Still no one watching this.
chunks and no family reunions. That's I'm kidding. She thinks I can't cook. Wait till she tastes this. Wait till she tastes this. That's creepy. I'm so creepy about it. Can I help? No, everything is under control. Something smells very good in there. Be patient. I can't cook. Something smells in there. No. Whoa. What the hell are you made of? You're wrapped in a favorite videos ever.
Why me?
She thinks I should. No. Wait till she tastes this. Everybody's getting it in. Everybody's stupid in need of love. Everybody's in need of snickle. It's animation budget. I have important news.
What is it?
Gordon Ramsay. You picture Frankie with wings and see what happens. Did that all into the gut because why not just take the wings? So far to travel. Haven't heard this. Heard this sounds in a long time. How did you get it? No wonder he boss of your still. Got a crew white then. That's my shit. Something makes sense in that. How does he get a pile of potatoes? No wonder he calls you a normal. He boss of your still. Frankie, what was
You can be doing this. Good. Again, any of you, here's the stream link if you want to join. Right, so right defined like this.
Dad that went and got milk. Man, right? How when we were younger we used to run around and hang out. Yeah, let's talk about that. Yeah, that I wanted to do. And now it's all the help that you helped. Okay. Super glad. Thank you. Anchor, the new one is released by I get it. Another shot. Great message.
Yeah. Alright, driver 3, Joe.
Squarespace is everything to sell anything.
So, oh, Sage said that she has work, so I'm gonna text her. So I texted her so later. I'm gonna text her. She can't stream. I'm saying that she can't stream. So I will stream again, but before I go to Texarkana, the day before it'll be the 22nd, after and being somewhere a little after 4. How would that be for you guys?
James. The Red Engine loved working on the island of Sodor. He was a mixed traffic engine and could pull both coaches and trucks quite easily. James made such messes if he wouldn't be. Of course, he was warm and didn't want to move. I pulled his express. The coaches heard every coaches were shoot firmly in place. I was listening.
No, I did not rustle the sheets. You know, guys, I actually had the Polar Express book right here. I have another one, but it's a signed copy. I'm gonna check. It's like so. Yeah, I'm getting some subscriptions to some others. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, they have all the Evangelion movies free on Amazon Prime. What else is there? No one's gonna watch this live. Anyone who's gonna be live on this is. I'm still waiting. It should be another hour or so. What do I do? So the Kotobukiya figures here, their style is by Shunya Yamashita. I think she must be a great designer. The MLP characters should get their own anime with that design. Every figure in Kotobukiya should. in there. So soon be there. Oh, hi Trevor. You're welcome to the stream.
Hey, sorry it took so long. I just can't do the stream while I'm eating at Arby's as well as going to Dylan's. I had to
Mm.
run a couple errands quick.
Arby's. 10 years of it's good mood food.
Yep.
Yeah, but now they've changed it to we have the meat since I don't know what year.
I believe it was like a few years ago when they changed that. And I also remember their old mascot was like an oven mitt.
Yeah, I think so. But anyways, I've got what I've also got is I was just playing some music on the Mixcraft, and I thought some Thomas Carrot. I was originally going to include them on my original MLP engines as British locomotives, which I think I scrapped them because the British one ideas are now outdated for them.
Yeah.
Them as British locomotives. But anyways, I got them their specials, downloaded their specials, them being Dance Magic.
Yeah.
And the second one was Movie Magic. And then is Mirror Magic.
That's a lot of magics.
So there's only 3 of them. So Dance Magic has the return of 4 of the Shadow Bolts. You can see right there, 4 of them.
Yeah.
You can only see 4 of them. And Rarity only says 2 of their names, that being Sour Sweet and Sunny Flare. The other 2 are Sugar Coat and Lemon Zest.
Lemon zest.
Yeah, she's the one with the headphones.
I never liked the Shadow Bolts. They're mean. I always like the main 7 best because they're the good guys.
So, but the Shadow Bolts did change their ways in Dance Magic.
Well, yeah, I know that, but still, I still don't like them even after that.
Yeah, only 4 out of 5. Yeah, only 4 of them out of 5 appeared in Dance Magic. She's Indigo Zap, my favorite right here.
Your favorite's Indigo Zap?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you had to choose a Shadow Bolt, which one would you pick?
I don't really know. I mainly like the good guy characters, like Fluttershy.
I decided that I should make. If I made the MLP characters as engines, then I should choose the Pegasi as streamlined engines. Same for the Alicorns.
Good idea.
Yeah, the same go for the Alicorn. So Twilight at first being normal, but then when she gets her wings, she's streamlined.
Yeah. By the way, I like your Santa hat.
This should have happened to This should have happened. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, you do. Thomasine Horton is VASF Tech. I don't know what that is, but he was on the stream just now. He was on the stream. By the way, I didn't know why they turned Sunset and Starlight into Alicorns in the first place. They should have done that a long time ago.
Yeah.
But in the credits we see who voiced the Shadow Bolts.
Yeah.
Sharon Alexander was Sour Sweet. Britt Irvin is Sunny Flare. Sienna Bond was Sugarcoat, and Shannon Shankent, being Pinkie Pie's singing voice, was Lemon Zest. Kelly Sheridan voiced Indigo Zap.
Yeah.
And
I don't know any of those actors. I mainly know Tara Strong, Tabitha St. Germain, at Ashley Ball, and Andrea Libman.
Got Rebecca Choiquette as Sunset Shimmer,
Yeah.
Kathy Weslock as Spike.
Yep.
And if you'll note, there are some comments saying that Indigo Zap sounded like a high-pitched version of Barbie. Same with Starlight's, that she sounds a little like Barbie.
Yeah.
The girl who was introduced in Mirror Magic, she is Juniper Montage. And the actor who played Daring Do was Chestnut Magnifico.
Yeah. Who's your favorite of the main 7 again? I can't remember.
It was Rainbow Dash.
Oh, it's Rainbow Dash. That's also one of my friend's favorites back at work. His name was Sam, and he loves Rainbow Dash. My favorite's Fluttershy because she's sweet.
And I have to think what Rainbow Dash, if their engine forms would be, RD would be a Southern Pacific Daylight, and I have to think that Fluttershy should be another a smaller streamlined locomotive. All the whistles there should come from the Absinthe 1. Since they actually had a part where it did have Toby's 3-chime steam whistle, and there's all rarity and only 4 out of the 5 Shadow Bolts. I can understand. They were first introduced in the Friendship Games, which kind of could be the worst Equestria Girls movie. It would have been a lot better if the real Twilight had taken the device off her neck.
Okay.
As I heard and saw in James's A. Williams rant about it. And we didn't see what Sunny Flair's character was. If I to guess that she should be the mother figure to the Shadow Bolts.
Who? Sour Sweet?
Sunny Flair.
Oh, Sunny Flair. Okay.
Sour Sweet, she's on the freckles.
Yeah, I know who Sour Sweet is. I just forgot who the other 3 were.
The Sunny Flair, Sugar Coat, and Lemon Zest.
Lemon Zest. Yeah, thanks.
I also liked the way Sugar Coat talked in the series.
Yeah.
She sounded monotone.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like she's not interested in what she's saying. Even though she does get some funny line deliveries, which is Sunny Flair is my second favorite because her skin color is close to blue. And Sour Sweet, she does sound a lot like a grown woman, even though she isn't.
Yeah, a lot of teenage characters sound like adults in cartoons.
Well, it's like Rarity's line delivery when she take on. That line was funny. But that's when Sugarcoat brought this up. In her face. I think I should create the fan-made, streamlined versions of Sunset and Starlight as when I make my MLP characters as steam engines.
Okay.
Since they should have been alicorns a long time ago.
You mean all these girls?
I mean, Sunset and Starlight. Twilight was the last.
Yeah.
And I think Sunset and Starlight should have gotten the same treatment because of how important they're being. It would make the universe a lot better.
True.
So, Shadow. And if I don't know if my OC, if I were in that series, I don't know whether I should be a Shadow Bolt or a Wonder Colt. Should come from either Crystal Prep or Canterlot High.
If I were in this series, I would pick the Wonder Colts because they're the good guys.
I'd be a good Shadow Bolt.
Okay, fair enough.
And you can see how their skirts there look like kilts.
Yeah, they do look a lot like kilts.
So if I had to do it, I'd use a Scottish accent with as a Shadow Bolt.
Okay.
If I had to go as a gender bent Indigo Zap. You'll notice that she is actually a recolor of Lightning Dust, but even though Lightning Dust didn't get a human form.
Yeah. Yeah, I wish all the ponies had human forms, especially the boy bullies that bullied Rainbow Dash when they were young. Do you remember those characters?
I do. They were in Cloudsdale.
Cloudsdale, yeah. I wonder what they would look like if they were in their human form. Probably muscular.
Originally, I was going to give the Shambolts the whistles from the Leapfrog engines, this being these. They were in order: Percy, Edward, James, Henry, and Annie and Clarabelle. That last one was used for Annie and Clarabelle here. The first one used for Percy, then Edward, then James, and then Henry.
Okay.
If you get I'm trying to see if I can try to pitch them. See if I can try to get this into Mixcraft. Well, so for this one, this two. Well, here they are, different pitches.
Yeah.
So they sound, except they're lower pitches, except the first one, which I pitched up.
Okay.
I also looked at some the Kotobukiya figures again of the engines, of the characters.
Okay.
And the DD Pity Variety Show, he actually used Sujin Afro Starlight Zone, who did the 80s City Pop remix. He does a lot of Thomas remixes as well, and recreates music from the series.
Okay.
If you can just listen closely.
How many we're gonna get? Take yellow and
Ooh.
They're clearly from the Roland Jupiter 6 synthesizer. I definitely I have so got to get these figures. But sadly I can't find them in any part of my town.
Yeah.
I wish these were at the mall. Like at Box Lunch, Hot Topic, etc. The limited editions have them in their correct skin color.
Yeah.
So
I have a question. I don't remember this, but do you like the My Little Pony New Generation movie of G5?
It's in CGI, but I guess I should give it a try.
It's actually pretty good. It's maybe different, but it's still better than G3 because everyone knows how bad G3 was back in the 2000s.
Another thing is here that Sunset Shimmer is the only one of these without a limited edition, and they got her skin color correct.
Yeah.
Whereas, and all the characters, most of them have tan skin, whereas Applejack looks like that she's a regular American, and they gave and Rainbow Dash looks like she's either African American or Afro British. And I think the same would go for Princess Luna. And this was an unexpected surprise from Kotobukiya. Hatsune Miku. I don't know which that anime that's from.
Oh.
But
Oh, I've seen her before, but I don't know much about her.
And they even made a pony version of her.
Wow. What's her name again?
Hatsune Miku.
Hatsune Miku. Okay. Is she just like from a video game or something?
I have no idea. Oh, more favorite characters from the MLPG series are the Dazzlings. You can go Adagio Dazzle, Aria Blaze, and Sonata Dusk. And that, if I had to do a battle between them, it would be the three lights from them versus the Sailor Star lights from the Sailor Moon Sailor Star series.
Okay. If I had to pick a favorite of the Dazzlings, I'd pick Sonata Dusk because she's the silliest.
I choose her too. She's like, it's Taco Tuesday.
Yeah, like in the Lego movie.
Has she been watching the Lego movie too much?
Yeah.
Even better would be a fan-made scene of them getting gas from the tacos.
Yeah.
It's like, she's gonna blow. And trying to blow hard to clean it out. But they're blowing gas all over them.
Yeah.
Silly! And she's trying not to laugh. It's like, it's Claude Canyon. Gotta get these out for more. Aren't you the villains here? It flew everywhere. We've got Vignig Valencia, who was introduced in Roller Coaster of Friendship.
Yeah.
you see Sunny Flare right there, and Indigo Zap right here.
Yeah.
Even so, it looks like the Shadow Bolts maybe have changed.
Most likely, but I'm not so sure about their principle.
Not Cinch. I think her voice actor Iris Quinn, I actually do like her voice, and it should sound like it would suit one of the A4 Pacifics, possibly
Yeah.
Bittern.
Yeah. Principal Cinch reminds me of Lady Tremaine from Cinderella in terms of her personality.
Yeah, I think her voice would sound better for Bittern and A4 Pacific,
Yeah.
making her sound up and snooty.
Yep.
If they bring all the A4 Pacifics into Big World, Thomas Friends Big World Big Adventures, then they should recast Iris Quinn as as Bittern.
Mm-hmm.
I also thought of a Thomas and the Magic Railroad version of Unleash the Magic. Shown as Diesel 10 is Twilight, Lady is Cinch, and the steam engines are the Shadow Bolts.
Okay.
For example, like Thomas is in the positions, and this is when we see Edward in the movie. And this at the end. For example, like Thomas is Indigo Zap, Percy is Lemon Zest, James is Sour Sweet, Henry is Sunny Flare, Gordon is Sugarcoat, Toby's just no one, he was just there.
Yeah.
And the Unleash the Magic also sounds like Be Prepared from The Lion King. They've also got the Forgotten Friendship. It introduces Wallflower Blush. And Backstage Pass introduces Post Crush. And the Return of the Dazzlings.
Yeah.
Been absent for 5 years.
Yeah. I kind of wish they continued the Equestria Girls spin-off series, whether as still part of the G4 or maybe G5. Imagine if the G5 characters like Izzy Moonglow and Sunny have human forms too.
It would be good. I can also see the Rainbooms recovering songs from the Disney from the Disney series Phineas and Ferb.
Yeah.
And because I would like to hear them play their recreations and covers of them.
Yeah.
Like and the rain booms. They got the crystal rain booms they are also, which are the rain booms and the shadow bolts. But they also have another spin-off series called where they have the shadow bolts as on the lead role. Gone through EG. What I also like about Mirror Magic is that it has Starlight in her human form, and the hat she wears is kind of like a beret. And it was at that point where I thought she should have a French accent.
Oh.
So maybe use her as a French, as one being an American locomotive. The three versions are being an standard American locomotive, a streamlined American locomotive, and then as of her as a French locomotive. Because the way she's dressed, you can clearly see she has a beret.
Yeah.
That's why I think she should sound French. And the eyes on the characters look like they're Chinese.
On these characters?
Yeah,
Well, they look more like anime to me.
look more Chinese, like
Yeah.
more
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Chinese. Japanese is like this, and then Korean is like the eyes going down right here.
Oh, I always thought they look the same except with a different language.
But you can't tell because they're in anime because their mouths actually move to what they're saying.
Yeah.
This doesn't happen in anime.
Mm-hmm.
And unwrapping for the holidays is the only holidays unwrapped is the only Equestria Girls winter movie.
Hmm.
What I think, I don't know if they should reuse Rarity's voice for a British locomotive or one of the American locomotives.
Or maybe one of the French locomotives, because she voiced a French character in one of the Barbie movies.
I think there should be one of those. It's kind of mid-Atlantic.
Well, it's Mid-Atlantic in My Little Pony, but I was talking about her, the voice actress of
Tabitha
Rarity.
Saint Germain.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Maybe they should. What if they do reuse Fluttershy's voice for one of the shy American locomotives?
Yeah, that'd be a great idea.
We got. Jeez. I got the Legend of Everfree. You can see there, she's Gloriosa Daisy right there.
Yeah.
If I were to make the MLP engines as characters, then Gloriosa should have being in the steam engine, that has 4 tall driving wheels.
Okay.
As on the train's Union Pacific 442 number 12. And 442.
So how are you today?
I'm good.
I'm doing good too. I'm better than last Tuesday because last Tuesday I was really sick and I had to skip work because of it.
I got the Union Pacific 9000 class. It has 12 driving wheels. So yeah. I got the Southern 4501, which it does use the whistle from that was also Toby's 3-chime steam whistle. This is I would have made Gloriosa into this engine. And it has 4 big driving wheels.
Yeah.
And if for the Cutie Mark Crusaders, they would be narrow gauge locomotives.
Yeah. What about for Spike? Could he be a
He could
miniature
be
engine?
one of the cabooses.
Okay, that's fine.
Rainbow Dash, I'm going to make her into a daylight.
Okay.
Applejack, it should be a 410-2 Texas and Pacific. If they got the Clinchfield 311.
Yeah.
The Clinchfield. And it was in a fan-made Ghost Train movie called The Clinchfield Curse. And it's the Durango and Silverton locomotives. Like a K78. The K36. What else is there? The There, right there, the Durango and Silverton.
I've heard you've been there before, haven't you?
I have.
Yeah, I wish I could go there too. It looks fun. I love the colors of the coaches, like when they're yellow,
Yeah.
like they're sunny, like the sun.
Yeah, so I was going to do a trains tour, USA tour of the small scale models of Rusty and Peter Sam pulling 5 coaches along the route.
Yeah. It'd be cool. Yeah, it would be very cool if some of the narrow gauge engines got to visit America, like one of the narrow gauge railroads in America.
And we'll pick up the coach from the last coach that was left behind from The Legend of the Lone Ranger. That'd be Rusty, whereas Peter Sam continues on with the 5 coaches.
Okay, that sounds like a great story.
And we got the Cumbres and Toltec. That's another Colorado railroad. This train whistle origin from the Cumbres and Toltec. Now I got Fast Freight Productions, and he's got train whistle sounds that from TV shows that are in trains. The L.A. King's Gull Horn. The Frisco 1522, Chicago, Burlington, and Quincy. The whistle for that was used for the SpongeBob Oceanic Express. And got the MSTS 3-chime whistle, which used for the cab forwards. That is the cab forward whistle on MSTS. The Flintstones whistle.
Oh, I recognize the Flintstones whistle. Yeah, I don't know why they got rid of that in one of the later seasons of Flintstones.
Big One's whistle from Galaxy Railways. They actually used a big boy locomotive for that anime.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the Strasburg Railroad number 6.
Reminds me of Percy.
It is Percy's basis, but this is what they should have used. They should have built this a long time ago.
Yeah.
So they could use it as Percy for the Dale with Thomas events in Strasbourg.
Yeah. That's a good point.
And we start pulling some old Pennsylvania coaches down the main line somewhere on Google Maps in Pennsylvania, and we'll turn off to the line and to head to Strasbourg.
Mm-hmm.
Friendship Express whistle. Possibly from the Sierra Railway number 3. Winnipeg Jets goal horn. NYC 3 chime whistle. The Cass Scenic Railroad Shea locomotive.
Yeah. It'd be cool if there was a Thomas character based on a Shea locomotive.
That could be Ferdinand's cousin.
Yeah, it could be.
And then Sirius' cousin.
Yeah, and he can be called like maybe Seamus the Shea or something, or
named after the pirate. Named after the pirate from Family Guy.
Or maybe named after one of the more one-off characters from Theodore Tugboat who's also named Seamus.
And so every time Ferdinand would say, "That's right," Seamus would go, "Stop saying anything else than that."
I agree. That would be funny.
The Montreal Canadiens. They got the Denver and Rio Grande Western 5-chime whistle from the Aristocats.
Mm-hmm.
Even that was actually used on a French locomotive. Because the Aristocats was set in France.
Yep.
So, train whistle, horns pack.
Do you like the Aristocats?
I do. But they did use American terms when they should. Instead of using brake van, they actually used caboose.
Yeah. I wonder if they do say brake van in France.
And so they got the Frosty steam whistle. Frosty the Snowman train whistle. It was from the Santa Fe 3751 locomotive.
Okay.
We got the Reading Camelback Hooter. The CN 3254's old whistle. I think the 2661 could use the same whistle as that, but in a lower pitch, pitched down to sound like Lorenzo.
Yeah. Funny thing is, Lorenzo and Thomas were born in the same year.
1915.
Yeah, 1915.
So the theory is that I have a theory on how I should have a theory on how Thomas and Timothy started from being useless to being useful. It's like they were first traveled down. My theory is they got to Sodor by rail and somehow couldn't go any more farther until they reached Crovan's Gate Works, and they were running out of steam. So they were sent to the works to be checked over, and once again, for the rest of their lives, they were useful. That's my theory.
Okay.
And train whistles, they were used as stock sound effects. And the one of the whistles from the Cumbres and Toltec that was also used in Phineas and Ferb. The 3254 old whistle. Angel-like. Like Angel-like, this be the variant of the 3254 old whistle if it was an Evangelion.
Yeah.
The only like they even got train whistles on synthesizer. And Canadian whistles. As I make the MLP engines as Shadow Bolts engine and as characters as steam engines, the Shadow Bolt should be the Canadian engines.
Okay.
Then maybe Indigo Zap could be based off this one. And one of them could reuse the Polar Express whistle. It'd be funny if we heard the Polar Express whistle in Big World Big Adventures.
Yeah.
It'd be great. It was also one of the Friendship Express engine's whistles.
Yeah.
So my Christmas Express German one will have the class 10, the DB class 10 pulling it, number 10001, and it will use the GWR whistle from the BBC sound effects library, which is where Spencer's whistle came from. And his whistle's basis was used for the Hogwarts Express engine, like the A4s. Maybe if they should reuse that whistle for Bittern. Should reuse the Hogwarts Express whistle for Bittern.
Okay.
And use Spencer's whistle for the Hogwarts Express, because that way it would be fitting. Also, Sir Nigel Gressley had Mallard's whistle at this point. They even got honestly, dude. I also figured out how to do steam engine whistles on my keyboard. Then trying to do some on Mixcraft. I can get to the square wave. The C is SF. I did the Polar Express and Toby's 3-chime steam whistles on Mixcraft. And do Mallard. to Hogwarts Express. Yeah, A4 Pacifics are my favorite British locomotives. How fast they are, and even said that Mallard was the world's fastest steam engine.
Yeah.
So I got Mixcraft open. And the first up we're going to do is Mallard. And then Bittern. And how I think how she should sound, but it was used for the Hogwarts Express. Yeah, the Hogwarts Express whistle actually came from an A4.
Wow.
Even did the Polar Express. This. Also, Toby's 3-chime steam whistle. And so the notes there were G. Oh, looks like headphones about to go low. Gotta plug these in before they get any lower. If I had to make myself into and get a garden railway, I'd have to put some anime figures in the Thomas characters' cabs, like the Sailor Moon figures in the cabs.
Okay.
An example, and for the Bachmann ones, the sound files have the sound per prototype. Sorry, Bachmann Thomas sound. Was and extravaganza. Thomas sounding is himself. Thomas James stepping in for Edward. Which is what I would use Edward's whistle for Thomas, like in seasons 4 to 5. That would be his whistle for an anime.
Okay.
Emily stepping in as Henry, which is that's a whistle sound you'll commonly hear on British tank engines.
Interesting.
Emily stepping in as Gordon. James sounding as himself. Percy sounding as himself. It'd be funny. I think they should add custom sounds to them. I think
Yeah.
I don't know if you can make your own custom sounds for these characters.
I'm not sure how to do that.
And Emily stepping in as Spencer, that it has the GWR whistle, which is what I should use for Thomas at another time. There's the first variant. The second variant, and it was used for Thomas in the audiobooks of Thomas and the Dinosaur and Thomas and the Tiger. One, he should use the first variant.
Yeah.
I got Bachman. Think I should get some. I gotta get more of the Bachman models. For like, they're making Peter Sam this year. In narrow gauge.
That's exciting.
And they should make Duncan and Sir Handel.
Yeah, they should also make Duke and Luke too.
Imagine if Bachman also made Splatter and Dodge.
Yeah, I agree, but the problem is they're one-off characters and they're not as memorable as Airy and Bert.
They've made Toby's museum coaches. Already got Rheneas and Rusty in N scale. Oh, the Hornby LNER W1 Hush Hush locomotive. That's where it got the nickname Galloping Sausage.
Yeah.
Imagine there was a Thomas character based off the Hush Hush.
Yeah. Oh, that's the Hush Hush.
Yeah. It was soon rebuilt into Spencer Spaces, but with a 4/6 wheel arrangement. And custom Bachman Thomas sets should have been made. Could have been Diesel's Oily Delivery.
Yeah.
James's Passenger set. Oliver's Western set. Percy's Mail Delivery with normal and CGI mail vans. Spencer's Special. The Flying Kipper set. They should have more fun with freight sets and Henry's Express set. Yeah. I'm also starting to get more anime figures, such as Inuyasha. They had a keychain that had one of the characters, that being Songo. She's the Demon Slayer. Right there.
Yeah.
If they had a character, if they were in Sailor Moon, then she should be Serena. And Songo and Serena together, how about that?
Yeah, that's interesting because they both start with S.
And they both have cats.
Yeah.
What if Richard Ian Cox voiced James in All Engines Go with his Inuyasha voice?
That'd be interesting.
then Luke Marty should have been in the UK version.
Yeah.
The Grinch mailroom scene. It's Lady's whistle is also heard in it.
Yeah.
And it's like, I didn't know. It made me think that I didn't know that Lady was in this movie.
Yeah, this came out the same year as Thomas and Magic Railroad.
It's great that they have the same whistle.
Yeah.
This mailroom scene.
Do you have a favorite Grinch adaptation?
I like the 2000 version because that's what I grew up with.
I love that one better too. Although I also like the Chuck Jones short, and I thought the Illumination version was okay, but I still think the Jim Carrey version is the best because that one managed to make me laugh.
When I searched the Polar Express all board, it had this, and Sunset Shimmer is suddenly there.
Yeah.
It'd be cool if there was a Thomas character based off the Polar Express engine.
Yeah. Yeah, it's based on a Lima Works locomotive, even though the nerd kids said that it was a Baldwin, even though it doesn't look anything like a Baldwin.
It looks more like a Pennsylvania Railroad locomotive.
Yeah. From the Lima Works.
Yeah, there. I think that engine, it must be a Baldwin. That looks like a Baldwin type.
Really?
Yeah, I think it is. It looks like something the Baldwin Locomotive Works would make.
Okay. Because I always thought Baldwin locomotive engines have a headlamp on top of the face instead of as a nose.
And maybe this is from a different locomotive company other than the Lima Locomotive Works.
Okay.
Maybe the Baldwin Locomotive Works weren't paying attention to their buildings.
Probably.
So I think they messed up the design for the engine, like the headlamp in the middle and no coupling on the front.
Yeah. It happens.
Yeah, not the best design for a Baldwin Locomotive Works engine.
Yeah.
I had to think, which MLP character would be based off of this engine?
Maybe Princess Celestia? Or Princess Luna?
Maybe I'd have to say Cadence.
Okay. That works too.
Shown as a big pink steamy.
Yeah.
Whereas Pinkie Pie could be an American-style tank engine. An American-style tank engine from that. I'm gonna clinch. Subpar Productions. I got the Rainbow Sun and Trains. The Strasbourg 475. Maybe they should have. I don't know which MLP character would be based off that.
Maybe one of Applejack's family members.
It could be either. Possibly not
Not Big Macintosh, because I think Big Macintosh would fit for a bigger engine.
Or for a Challenger or a Big Boy.
That'll work too.
Possibly not Granny Smith, because I think she'd be a Camelback.
Yeah. Maybe Apple Bloom?
She should be a narrow gauge engine.
Oh, I forgot. Sorry.
Maybe Applejack should be a Texas locomotive, one that's Texas and Pacific,
Okay.
because of the accent. What else? I'm gonna say it should be not Coco Pommel, because she should be based off a New York Central Railroad engine.
Okay.
C16. B&O C16. This is what I would have Pinkie Pie based off.
So that's the C16.
From the Baltimore and Ohio.
Okay.
There's a different one available that's in narrow gauge. Is NW 475. If they think they should have used the Harrisburg Station, the Pocahontas movie, before Thomas and the Magic Railroad, since where the PRS-1 pulls in with the coach, and we see a GG-1 in the station electric locomotive with the caboose already leaving.
Yeah.
Strasburg. I definitely should go to Strasburg.
Great idea. I've been there once, and it was a lot of fun.
And maybe I should do a Strasburg Railroad strength test on Thomas in trains, or in this Roblox game.
Yeah.
I got a Caledon. Oh, I forgot. Oh, other British locomotives I've seen include the Caledonian 439 class.
It'd be cool to see a Scotch tank engine in the actual Thomas show, and then maybe he or she can work on the Misty Valley branch line where Lord Callan lives.
It's like, I heard there's a fan-made Thomas character based off of this called Hamish.
Hamish, huh? Rhymes with Seamus.
So, and maybe he would be a Scottish tank engine based on this design, and would sometimes get mistaken for Thomas.
Yeah, because after all, Donald and Douglas were painted blue in the later Railway series books.
I guess they changed that to avoid confusion in the TV series with Edward.
Yeah, and Gordon.
They got the LBSCR Marsh I3. This should be another one of the engines that Thomas worked with on his old railway.
Yeah.
We got the Caledonian A12s based off Donald and Douglas. It's like Opal Beasley, we got some painted in black. They should have preserved another. They should rebuild another one of these so they can model them as Douglas for the Dale with Thomas events.
Yeah.
They've also got some that have red coupling rods. And maybe one of them should what I think is one of them should be blue and another should be black, just to avoid confusion.
Yeah. They can always tell by their different numbers and nameplates too.
And got the B12, which we already know as Alfred. Imagine if they made. I think they had Alfred at some Dale with Thomas events in the UK.
Yeah.
What if they actually made his actual face in it?
Yeah, just like in trains.
Next we got J.E.R. Wisbeck trams, which is what Toby is based off. The J70s.
Yeah, it's too bad all those J70s were scrapped in real life.
They should preserve one. They should preserve one just to look like Toby.
I agree. In fact, Toby was one of Christopher Audrey's favorite characters.
And preserve one of these coaches as Henrietta. I mean, one of them as Henrietta and another as Hannah.
Yep.
Or even this one as Elsie, the luggage van.
Elsie, yeah. I wonder why Elsie never appeared in the books, but only appeared in the layouts.
And you got here the A4s. Here's Dominion of Canada. And this one, it has a chimed whistle too.
Yeah.
There's an American whistle. We got Golden Eagle, Sea Eagle. I'm going to go Sea Eagle, Mallard, Union of South Africa, Dominion of Canada, Commonwealth of Australia should be there. Dominion of New Zealand. It should also be in New Zealand. You got Peregrine and Seagull. Herring Gull. Sea Eagle. Woodcock. Osprey. Great Snipe. You got Kestrel. Falcon. Kingfisher and Golden Eagle. There's Dominion of Canada again. I think they should use bittern in the Harry Potter movies because the whistle they used.
Yeah.
And with two tenders. One that reads LNER and another that reads your number 4464. Because the whistle sound they use. And it would be great for a Harry Potter version of the Polar Express.
Yeah. Imagine the Hogwarts Express was a Thomas character.
And it could use an actual Cornish accent.
Yeah, because it's based on one of the Great Western Railway engines. Forgot which one, though.
Alton Hall.
Alton Hall. Okay, thanks.
Silver Link. One of the Silver Jubilee engines.
Reminds me of Spencer.
Yeah, it is Spencer's basis. Not only do they have Silver Link, they got Quicksilver, Silver King, and Silver Fox.
Cool.
If I had to choose one, it should be Quicksilver. I should definitely reuse some of these British locomotives in the Family Guy Sherlock Holmes adaptation, but how it should have been. Like the Silver Jubilee and Paris, where it has Quicksilver and Silver King being in an anime on a UK tour, and then the train going to Paris would be the Coronation Scott. That A4 was that is Osprey.
Yeah.
And got a Southern Bully Q1, which is what Neville's based off. They should preserve the one at the National Railway Museum as Neville.
Yeah, as part of the Dale with Thomas events.
Or black. Then got the LNER N7, which is kind of like Ryan. And some of them even have red coupling rods. They should use one of the N2s as Ryan.
Yeah.
Since there are some N2s left. And maybe about the Wainwright D class, they should use that one as Edward. Or use one of the T9 locomotives. You mainly see this type, but it should be this type. And it should be a third rebuilt Evangelion version of Mari. I mean, second.
Okay.
Malachite green. We got the LNER class G5. We got the SECRE class. They've even got one in gray.
Yeah.
That should be one of Donald and Douglas's new colors for them to go to the Great Railway Show.
Yeah, that'd be neat.
Along with red with black wheels. As I saw in the Caledonian Single 123. We've got the Terriers, which are Stepney's brothers.
Yeah. To be honest, I would like to see more of the Bluebell Railway engines besides Stepney in the TV series.
Bluebell and Primrose.
Yeah, I meant, yeah, like Bluebell, Primrose, and Captain Baxter.
Adams and Crumford.
Yep. And maybe Fenchurch too.
He's one of Stepney's other brothers. Then the Furnace Railway A5040. That could be one of the old mainland engines. These coaches are like Helena and Victoria.
Yeah.
And here we go, the E2s.
Yeah, it's too bad none of the E2s are preserved in real life.
No wonder Jim Vanderkolk hates these class.
Yeah, but I still think they look neat and historical compared to most of the modern day locomotives.
Maybe preserve one without the extended side tanks as Timothy. And one with the extended side tanks as Thomas.
Yeah.
Ugh. And the Lancashire and Yorkshire Class 27. You might know that James was based off this engine.
Yeah. Just without the extra front wheels.
They got the Peppercorn LNER Peppercorn A1s. Then we got, let me see, got the LNER A4s post-war. Not Merlin, Sir Nigel Gresley, Dwight D. Eisenhower, Kingfisher, Sir Ronald Matthews, Sir Murrow Wilson, Sparrowhawk, Golden Fleece, Walter K. Wiggum.
Wow, there's like they look like bluish purple.
Yeah, I'd be tempted to get all of these A4s for trains. They got Falcon. Well, mostly the ones that are just blue, like Mallard, Bittern, and Dominion of Canada.
Yeah.
And Dominion. I got the other T9s. The Ivet C1 Atlantics. This is based off a fan-made Wild Northwester character called Alice.
Never heard of that character, but I've heard of Alice the auto coach and Alice the little girl from season 10.
And got the JCR J11, got the LNER Q6. Mentioned there is a Thomas character based off that.
Yeah.
You got the BD Well tanks. It could be the young mainland tank engines. I got the A5 LNER A5 locomotives. They'd be great, powerful express tank engines. Next one is the 04 class. I heard that there's a trains version of Jeffrey that's based off this engine.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should bring Jeffrey into the CGI series.
Yeah, that would be a good coincidence.
And preserve one of them as Jeffrey. One of these.
Yeah.
And you got the LNER A1 Great Northern. Got the LNWR 133210 Cornwall. I think this one should be a female character.
Yeah. Then what would her name be?
don't know what her name be, but it should be should be a Victorian name.
Yeah.
What? A Great Central Railway. G. So in NWR 1991's videos, he gives Jeffrey an Australian accent. Even though because Jeffrey his basis worked in Australia.
Wow.
Not the D11s. It should preserve one of these as Molly.
Yeah, I miss Molly.
Next up is the Peppercorn A2s. One of these you'll know as Tornado.
Yeah.
There is Tornado right there.
Yeah.
If he were a Thomas character, then he should be another Mainland Express engine.
Yeah.
We've got Thompson B1 class. The most well-known is Mayflower.
I know there's a Mayflower that's a name of a ship during the early American years.
Highland Railway Jones Goods.
Well, that reminds me of Jock.
But it's standard gauge.
Yeah, except it's standard gauge.
Is the LBSCR Southern Q class. Don't know what Thomas character should be based off this.
But what color should it be?
I have no idea. I was one of the German engines, the BR-78. I was going to have it lavender and painted navy blue with them painted lavender with navy blue stripes. So it'd be in the colors of Twilight Sparkle.
Okay.
And maybe that engine should be a female character too. Maybe this one should be Pinkerton. Male character that's pink.
Pinkerton. Okay.
That's what you said in one of my previous streams.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
And it's going to be mainly a goods engine on the mainland pulling freight cars.
Mm-hmm.
Or sometimes a mixed trains is also shown pulling passengers. LMS, so LMYR class 242 reminds me of Albert, the furnace engine.
Yeah.
They should have John Bellis Thomas's voice put onto him.
Yeah, that would make sense since Albert is older than Thomas.
The North Staffordshire Railway locomotives. And we even got a 4F in the background. Don't know what Thomas character would be based off of that. Or this tank engine passing by. But they put the brake coach at the front.
Shouldn't the brake coach be at the back?
I can assume this was a mistake.
Yeah.
We got a JCR J11. The JCR B12. B12 B12. LNR G5. Yeah, definitely the A4s. I vote for them.
A4s are the best.
They're the fastest. They're the best steam engines because they're the fastest.
Yeah. My favorite color in terms of the A4s would be a blue, like a light blue.
Like on Mallard.
Yeah.
If you had to pick one, which one would you choose?
Which color?
Which A4?
I
Blue
pick the Mallard because that's the one I know the most.
I'd have to say Dominion of Canada because there's a American chimed whistle and a bell.
Interesting.
Anyone got some freeware content? And there's these 464 tank engines. And Immingham. JCR E8. Some 264 tank engines. This and I don't know, a Drummond 080. I got a broad gauge locomotive. I got looks like Merlin, but it should be. I don't know what Thomas character would be based off this.
I don't know either.
I got Middleton is an LB and SCR E1. Middleton, I think that could be an E1. Oh, now I got the King Arthur class. Merlin.
Yeah. Imagine Merlin and Arthur meeting each other for the first time.
They should preserve one of the King Arthur classes as Merlin.
Yeah.
There's the E1 class. LB and SCR. Google Maps. So if Harry Potter was owned by Disney, but if Warner Brothers was bought by Disney, how about that?
I don't know if that's a good idea because I don't want Disney buying out everybody.
Especially Mattel.
Yeah, because Disney hasn't done a good job lately, especially with their parks, from what I've heard.
And besides, it's even better than stupid Mattel. Seriously, what is even wrong with Mattel? They're not even trying.
I know, right?
They need to take back their money from Thomas and Friends and give it to another company.
Yeah, like Hasbro.
Imagine Thomas Friends being crossover with My Little Pony.
Or Transformers. Just kidding.
Transformers? We got the Strasbourg Train Shop. They got some Bachmann items there and some Lionel.
Yeah. I love Strasbourg. I wish I could go there again.
We got some Polar Express items. So here are the Thomas items shown here.
Yeah.
There's Lionel, and they got some Bachmann. Even some Polar Express.
Yeah. I love the Polar Express.
But the design of the engine, I give it an 8 out of 10, even though it looks like the Baldwin Locomotive Works look like they've messed up on a few things on it.
Yeah.
The National Toy Train Museum. They got some Marklin items, but what was unexpected for me was they actually had an O-gauge Flying Scotsman with LNER teak coaches and some LGB items. If I can get to the point, it has the Scotsman. Nope, it's not there. There's some there. The Flying Scotsman with the LNER teak coaches.
Yeah.
They should have him running in America someday. Again,
There's the G-Scale Thomas.
And the troublesome truck.
Yeah. I wish I have that Lionel G-Scale versions of Thomas and James.
And maybe reuse reuse one of the American trucks for the Big Road Big Adventure series, like one of the prototypes with missing a few areas.
Yeah.
And making him the unfriendly American truck. Like he would have. What if they cast Roger Bumpus using his Squidward voice to voice him?
Yeah.
And he'll soon get his comeuppance by being diverted into an area that will lead to the smelters. They got Marklin. Marklin, I think that could be a French locomotive with German coaches. We got the Red Caboose Motel. Maybe they should have a Thomas and Friends lineup there. They should keep the engines like as one. There are only 2 K4s left in here. But use that one from the Pennsylvania Railroad Museum as Hank.
Yeah.
This and one,
and maybe Henry. they could do one for Philip too.
And instead of using his regular voice, they should make him sound American and cool.
I agree.
And we'll finally get to hear what his real voice sounds like.
Yeah.
It's sound like they were impersonating a British.
Yeah.
They got Dwight D. Eisenhower. Maybe that engine should be in our town, like in the Transportation Museum.
Yeah.
That's what should, and maybe it should give rides during Railfest.
Yeah. I don't know if they want a big Dwight D. Eisenhower engine on the Wichita Railfest.
I got an engine that has Korean lettering. There's the Korean lettering here.
Oh.
And these are repainted LNER teak coaches. They got a California Zephyr, Burlington Zephyr coach. I always thought the California Zephyr. A French goods van. It'd be a great idea if they won the entrance for the National Railway Museum would be befitting it too hard, and Dwight D. Eisenhower goes after it on his journey to Kansas.
Yeah.
Al finally reaches new home. Have the goods van will whiz down the right track, and whizzing down one way, and Dwight D. Eisenhower going the other. And we'll see the goods van going through the magic buffers.
Yeah.
There's some magic buffers ending up back in France. Virgin. Then I got the Smithsonian Museum of Transportation of American History. This is in Washington, D.C. And an old-timer, the Southern 1401.
Oh, I didn't know they have a railroad museum in Washington, D.C. What's that museum?
Smithsonian.
Smithsonian. The one where they have the 2 locomotives?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I've gone to that one.
Definitely. I went there on one of my trips.
Yeah.
So wouldn't it be great if they had a Thomas character based off the PRS-1?
Yeah.
That would be the biggest engine Thomas has ever seen.
Yeah.
And I got the Chesapeake and Ohio streamlined. Should be a new character. And these old timers.
Yeah.
And Western Maryland reminds us of Chuggington's Wilson.
Yeah.
Maybe this one should be Gustavo's little cousin.
Yeah.
So at CSX. I think that one is definitely a Shea locomotive. Think that could be Sam.
Yeah. And there's a red caboose and
a
a Mark Diesel.
Mark Diesel, Electromotive. It'd be better. They should have added more old timers to the show.
I agree. And maybe one of them can be named Jebediah.
And will sound like Texans.
Yeah. Yeah, and maybe one of them can sound like Granny Smith from My Little Pony.
I got another French goods van. That one should one of the old timers, not knowing this, would biff this one too hard through some magic buffers, unbeknownst to the others. We got the Bachmann G-Scale Christmas Thomas with Emily's coach in front of Annie and Clarabelle.
Yeah.
Maybe they should have Emily's coach at the back.
Oh, that reminds me. I remember you texted me the pictures you've taken of what you're buying for Christmas.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm somehow I should yeah, maybe I should get some Bachmann Thomas multiple Bachmann Thomas snow plows and repaint them so they'll fit all the engines.
Yeah.
Maybe have one painted red, one that's painted emerald green, and one that's painted lime green. Or even two that's emerald green, one that to match Paxton, and one that's black to match Diesel.
Yeah. I was also asking, how is your Christmas shopping going?
It's great.
Good. Did you get a lot of stuff for
I
Christmas?
did. I did. It's like from K-pop, Stop and Anime, the mall, and the last of what I got from Half Price Books.
Okay.
They even have some Disney Princess Q Posket figures at K-pop, Stop and Anime. Like Ariel, Belle, and even the short-haired Rapunzel.
Yeah.
And we got in Carver, Massachusetts. And got the Edaville, USA theme park. Imagine if the characters in Ernest the Engine Car became characters in Big World, Big Adventures.
That'd be kind of weird since Ernest the Engine Car and others is a parody of Thomas and Friends.
Then they should have used German accents.
Yeah. Excuse me, I have allergies lately.
Yeah, somehow. They even got a Canadian Railway Museum in Toronto. A Toronto Railway Museum.
Toronto?
Yeah.
That's a nice roundhouse.
They got the 6213. Or engine shed, as I should call it. And these Canadian locomotives, they should become new characters.
Yeah, they should totally have Thomas go to Canada
and meet up with Dustin and Marshall.
Yeah. Or maybe make some new friends, like add him some French speaking characters.
And then one being called Pierre.
I agree.
And maybe add in Dominion of Canada, that other French engine, and Wadden. So, and maybe Vinny could chase them to a harbor and be in a Thomas and the Magic Railroad chase-inspired scene.
Yeah.
It should be, run, Camille, quickly, and we're going, run, Camille, quickly, yeah, and we're going to help you.
Yeah.
And so am I. We won't let you down again. That'd be Dominion of Canada.
Yep.
And look at that big steam whistle.
Yeah. Pretty big for a live steam engine.
It almost reminds us of a Buckeye 3-chime. That was actually Toby's 3-chime steam whistle.
Yeah.
What? In Calgary, they got a heritage park with a short railway. I think Edmonton might have one too. Fort Edmonton Park. Yeah, they do. Vancouver and Nitrogen Studios Canada. When I clicked it there weren't any pictures of the Thomas Friends photos here on Google Maps from Nitrogen Studios.
Yeah.
We got these California Railroad Museum in Sacramento. We got more of these old timers. And the only surviving cab forward.
Cool. Yeah, they should make another cab forward engine besides Lexi.
Or even this passenger diesel engine.
Yeah.
Like, they could be Gustavo's American brothers.
Yep.
There's the rear end of the cab forward. Western Pacific. There's the inner workings of a almost scrapped passenger diesel.
I wonder why they disassembled that.
Just to show, I think it's just to show how it works.
Okay.
And the Santa Fe passenger diesel. I think this one is a Japanese bullet train.
Siemens, or where to pronounce it.
This one looks Japanese. Siemens, I think.
Oh, Siemens. Okay, I just couldn't pronounce it properly.
Do you think it looks Japanese?
Yeah, it kind of does.
They got a Santa Fe Texas 210-4.
I wonder if they give rides at that museum.
Then they could use there's a Canadian National coach. They should have another Thomas USA tour where he delivers coaches back to their respective railroads. And it's all around like the Canadian National and the Virginia and Truckee.
Yeah.
They even have a Series 0 Japanese engine at the National Railway Museum in York. Maybe that one should be Kenji.
Yeah.
They got an SR USA 060T, which is what Rosie's based off. Maybe they should redress that as Rosie and repaint her like that.
Yeah, either in pink or in cherry red.
For me, I'd have to say prefer pink Rosie.
Makes sense, because blue and pink are blue and pink go together.
Or maybe preserve one of these old timers as Bo.
Yeah, I agree. And they can make a Bo replica for the Dallas Thomas events.
Or Los Angeles. They got a Tokyo. In Tokyo and in Tokyo District in there. If I can get to the point in Tokyo Town. You go to Tokyo. Tokyo Japanese Lifestyle. Oh, that reminds me of some Japanese steam locomotives. Kyushu Railway History Museum.
Wow.
They should add in more steam engines into the Sailor Moon series, or when the main cast becomes steam engines, and we've only seen only electric engines and high-speed trains. What if they add in an electric engine that has 2 cabs? That one could be a freight one, and should add in some diesel engines.
Yeah.
And one of them could do a perfect diesel engine revving impression. And
Look at that one.
that's short.
Yeah. I don't know if it was really cut in half or is it supposed to be designed that way?
I got the Hisatsu line, but it's also on Microsoft Train Simulator. Yamamoto. I remember seeing a Japanese tank engine at one of these times. Japanese Forest Adventure Misato. It's named it's named after that character from Evangelion. You know, the one who has the same voice actress as Sailor Moon.
Who?
Misato.
Oh, Misato. Okay.
And where's that Japanese tank? I think the Japanese tank. No, I've known my place around here for years. Oh, right here. Couldn't think there, but here's a Japanese tank engine.
Cool.
A C12. I don't know. I don't know if maybe this one should be a new character and one that's painted pink.
Yeah.
And could be another one named after Pinkerton.
Yeah.
Marie. And it'll be a Japanese version of Back to the Future, like pushing a speeder. And they're on the way to Honshu.
Yeah.
Even got the Hara Model Railway Museum.
Yeah, that's where they preserved some of the TV series models. I hope they're in good hands.
They got a D51. One of them. Why didn't they repaint one into here in the first place?
I don't know.
Maybe they got the upside down bathtub engine. That one's should be a new American character.
Yeah.
And it could be the American equivalent of Spencer.
Yeah.
Not a wooden sized built D51. Got a Mallard, Emily, and there's the PRR S1. There's a cab forward and the crocodile locomotive. Oh, this one was also in Trains Simulator built in. C62. They even have a lady model at the Hara Model Railway Museum.
Yeah.
Even a blue brake van. Wouldn't it be great if the TV series models pulled American rolling stock there, or even better, Japanese rolling stock?
I'm not so sure about that.
You got some British locomotives, one that's based off duck, one that's a French locomotive, some that are German. This one, I think, is really German. Mallard. Maybe if Spencer's they had Spencer running, then they should have Mallard running with him. Because they're brothers.
Right.
And it's two snooty streamlined engines.
Yeah.
It
That's
even has
cool. That is a cool set. The Tomy play rail
the
set.
play rail. I should get play rail items.
Yeah, you should. They still make them in Japan.
Yeah. Yeah, they even have Spencer's photo right beside Mallard.
Yeah.
Even well, some of them these pictures aren't right. Like a JER class 060 right beside Thomas. Not the Burlington Zephyr. And Emily's bases. Why didn't they preserve this one as Emily in real life?
I don't know.
They got an 044 next to with. This one is actually Murdoch's basis. Or even better, why didn't they preserve a 9F as Murdoch, a bullied Battle Britain as Rebecca, and even better, the Flying Scotsman as Gordon or himself?
Beats
Give
me.
them faces. Should have given them faces a long time ago.
Yeah, they should.
And got a Merry Christmas sign with some locomotives from around the world.
Including the narrow gauge
They
engines.
got like they're meeting the mainland engines from the USA, UK, and Germany. There's a GWR locomotive that has a bell. I think that's a BR86. No, there's the lady model. They should have that one running.
Yeah.
And there's the BR96 tank engine. It's another articulated. Senzu Station. That's another one on the Oigawa Railway.
Yeah.
Well, then if that's the case, why didn't they should have made Bell and Arthur out of some of these tank engines.
Good point. Oh, because there's a troublesome truck.
Next to Hero, which they should. Why didn't they use a D51 in the first place? That should have been done a long time ago.
I know, right?
We got the Oigawa Railway Thomas. That makes it look like he was on steroids.
Yeah. There's also an Oigawa Railway Thomas for play rail.
As well as an Oigawa Railway James.
Yep.
What? And that Wandio for our tank engines, as I said before, they should use that as an Oigawa Railway Lady or Duncan.
Right.
And got Birdie.
Cool.
Got a C-56. It'd be great if we see these engines in Evangelion in the next movie. Like the C-58 number 389 and calling a mixed delivery.
Yeah.
A mixed delivery of the more faces for the troublesome trucks. Rise. Not important. And I know, surprising enough, they will have Bell, Arthur, and Edward there.
Yeah.
They'll repaint the C-58 as Edward, but remove the deflectors.
Yeah.
And the Oigawa James also looks like he was on steroids.
Same with Percy.
But not Rusty, though.
Yeah, Rusty. Rusty looks a bit short there. There.
Not Zoo. They even got a Universal Studios Japan.
Oh, I didn't know they had a Universal Studios in Japan. I know they have Tokyo Disneyland.
And they have Universal Studios in Florida.
Well, I know that.
They got King's Cross. And there's Alton Hall.
Yeah, I wish I could go to Universal Studios someday, just to give it a chance.
Yes, and maybe edit the whistle sound to be Spencer's whistle on this sound.
I think the one I'm more excited for, if I were to visit that place, it would be the Hogwarts Express.
Yeah, the night bus.
Oh yeah, the night bus. I didn't know there was an attraction for that.
If that one should be a new character, then it should be a mainland bus.
Yeah.
Maybe if they switch the whistles for Alton Hall, for the Hogwarts Express engine and Spencer, it would be more fitting.
Yeah.
Because of their basis.
Yeah.
They even have some models of Alton Hall coming out.
Yeah.
What they also got for Universal Studios is Dr. Seuss.
Yeah, I love Dr. Seuss in general.
Jurassic Park. And got Hogsmeade. Definitely give this engine a Cornish accent.
Yeah, I agree. Just like with Duck and Oliver.
And the miniature engines. Even Rusty.
Yeah.